Hello, my name is John Hohenschelt. I'm president of Paragon Industries, and we provide many different types of kilns and furnaces for Rio Grande. This video will show how to program the PMC oven. The first thing that we need to do is to turn it on, and this is done by the toggle switch just to the left of the controller. When the toggle switch is turned on, you will have a buzzing sound, and it will be followed up by some numbers, and all these are is the configuration and the software version of the software. They should go away in a few seconds, and then what you're going to see is the temperature that's currently inside of the kiln alternating with idle. At idle, this is where we can start our programming. If you do not have idle, you cannot start to program the kiln. Since this is a PMC oven, there are some preset programs in there depending upon the type of PMC clay that you have. If you look down on the decal, it says, for instance, that program 1, PRO1, is for PMC fast. So we're going to go ahead and choose to fire program 1, assuming that we have PMC fast clay, and that's the material we're going to fire. So from idle, we're going to press the StartStop button. At this time, you're going to see that the light next to the program comes on, which means we are currently in the programming mode. It says PRO3, so that is, if we wanted to fire program 3, we could press start from here, but we want program 1. So we're only going to use the up button, do not use the down button. If we use the up button, we can scroll through the programs that are available, and then we pick program 1, PRO1. We press start again. The display says STRT, which is start. We press start one more time. The kiln will begin running. At this point, it's going to say on. You should hear a click of the relay coming on. The run light will come on. And now it's going to start displaying the temperature that's inside of the kiln. To stop the firing at any time, we'll press the start-stop button again. So we're going to go ahead and it shows stop and the temperature that's inside the kiln. To get back to idle, we're going to press the start-stop button one more time. Now we're at idle. Now we're going to go in and use one of the user-defined programs. What this is used for is if we are not firing any of the PMC, so we're not using one of the preset programs. For instance, we're going to do some enameling, we're going to do some glass fusing. We're going to go ahead and use one of the user-defined programs, which on here are programs 6 through 9. So once we're at idle, we can go ahead and start programming again. We're going to press the start-stop button. And again, it's going to show us the last program we fired, which is program 1. Here we're going to, again, use the up arrow only, do not use the down arrow. We're going to scroll up to program 6, which is the first user-defined program. We're going to press enter. Now what it's going to ask us for is the rate, the temperature to which we want to fire, and a hold time, if any. So once you see RA1, that's the rate that we're going to have for the first segment. And here we're going to use the scroll up or scroll down, and we're going to choose a rate. So for instance here, let's use a rate of 100 degrees an hour. All of the programming is in degrees per hour. So here we're going to say we're going to go rate 1 is 100 degrees per hour. To what temperature do we want to fire? We're going to say 300. And as you hold the button longer, the scrolling will go much faster. So right now we're going to go to 300 degrees. And when we get there, HLD is asking if we want any hold time once we get to that temperature. Here we'll put in 10 minutes. The way this is done is the decimal point here, hours are to the left of the decimal and minutes are to the right. So this is showing 10 minutes worth of hold. Press start stop again, and it's going to ask you the second rate. So this is the rate we want to go in the second segment. So again here, We can scroll up. And let's say we'll go up to 400 degrees an hour. So the rate in segment 2 is now, the rate for segment 2 is 400 degrees per hour. What temperature do we want to go to? Let's go to 1,000 degrees. Again, we press enter to accept that we want the second temperature to be set to 1,000, and then a hold if we want any there. Let's not put any hold in, we leave it at 0. We press the enter button again. When you get to the first segment that you do not want to use, the rate will be 0. So for instance here, if our program is complete after we put it in at this point, we do not need to use the segment 3. We leave rate 3 at 0. We press enter again. It'll come up with start, and just like previously, we press the start stop button again. On shows on the display and the run light comes on. And now it'll fire the program that you put in there, and the temperature will be displayed. That's the temperature inside the kiln at that time. Again, to stop it, just hit the stop button. It'll display stop. Press it one more time and you're right back to idle. One of the main things that makes programming easier is if you write down the program before you start to enter it. Do not try to do it from your head or memorize it. So go ahead and write out your rate 1, the temperature to which you're firing, and the hold that you have all the way through all of your segments. It makes it much easier to be able to enter them. The other thing is once you enter a program in the user-defined programs of program 6, 7, 8, or 9, that exact program will stay in there unless you alter it. So for example, if you have a fusing program that you put into program 6, it will stay there unless it is altered. So again, you can go back from idle, press start stop in program 6, or you can scroll through and go back to pick program 6 that you've already entered and press start. And you can start to review the program just to make sure that it hasn't changed. And you will go through that just like we entered it and confirm that it's correct, but you don't have to change anything, and you can just start it again from there. And that is how you program the PMC oven.